coaches, they have things they like to do. I'm not married to anything. I've run a lot of things that have a very, really unique experience as far as levels, and I've been a D coordinator, and so I got to get him to. I got to figure out what he's good at, and I got to put him in those situations as much as possible. And I've watched a little bit of film on him, not enough that I can comment on any of that, but I think that's and the things that I need him to get better at, we have to focus on, right? You get what you emphasize. So we're going to make sure that he can do the things that I think this offense should be able to do well. And then if there's things he's really good at, we're going to do them. Much like we were talking about the RPOs earlier, Caleb was great at them, so we did them a lot, and it worked. So that I got to get to know him and make sure every quarterback. I mean, there's a couple, the year I was at the offensive coordinator at Syracuse, we lost our starting quarterback. I want to say it was play 7. It was an Achilles. It was like an Aaron Rodgers thing, and then the backup went down, and I ended up playing a walk-on, and the offense totally changed. We had to change, So I got to get to know each guy and what they do well, so that we can call the offense to have the most success when he's in there. But that's on me to make sure I can figure that out and then put him in a good situation to have success.
Finish up with 3 more. We'll start with Scott.
Oh, Scott.
Yeah. Scott Dochterman with The Athletic. How you doing?
I'm good.
Good to see you. Quick question before my real question. Should be coaching quarterbacks just to make sure? Is that
yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Route concepts.
Yes.
How do you? What structure do you like to run? Especially because you ran so much RPO.
Yeah.
How do you like to build your concepts? Beyond the line of scrimmage. You ran a lot of 11 personnel, or 11 or 10 personnel, probably 90% of it that I've seen at least.
Me? 10?
Yeah. Not 10.
I was going to say 10. I think
6%.
Yeah.
But a lot of 11 personnel.
Yeah.
But how do you anticipate that working within kind of the foundation of what Iowa likes to do, because 12 is such a staple here?
Yeah. I kind of think, I look at myself as a 12 guy.
Okay.
When the years we had 12, I can remember my first couple years at Western, we had 12. And those are good years, where I felt more comfortable with what we were doing. At Elmhurst College, we were 100% 12. That's all we ran the entire season. So, but either way, when it comes to route concepts, you got to understand the timing of the quarterback's footwork, and we can build. It's kind of like a piecemeal every week. You're building the concepts. Now, there's some full field where we're going to call it. He's going to know his progression, and we're going to go to work. We'll have 4 to 5, 6 of those that he's comfortable with. But I just think the flexibility in the passing game is what makes, the offense I ran in college, which is more of a spurrier stuff compared to what Shanahan does, and how they build their progressions every week. So it might look like a different route combination every week, but we will change them based on coverages and what we're seeing. But I want to get the quarterback comfortable with the same thing over and over again. The key is to have him do the same thing over and over again, and have the defense think it's a different play, right? So when you have we like these 2 or 3 things against this coverage, and we like this on the backside against this coverage, and you can mix and match them, and you get 5 on the front, 5 on the back, and the iterations of those 2, and then you add shifts in motion to it. You can really put a guy in a comfortable situation where he knows what's going on. It might not look like that to the defense, that's the plan. But it all starts with what we're getting and what he's comfortable with, And so we have to we got to get it installed, figure out what he's comfortable with, and then we can build it from there. But it always starts with the coverages we're getting and what our guy's good at, And then I feel like we can always build it from there. I got 600 pages of pass plays in there, figuring out what he's good at and getting good at something. Jack of all trades, master of none is not what we need to be about. We need to figure that out so we can be really good at something.
Back left.
Hi, Tim. Jack Williams with KCRG.
Hey, Jack.
With KCRG. Welcome to Iowa City. What you said before, RBO, relationships, or
RBO.
Yeah.
Opportunity.
Regarding that, coaching is not just X's and O's, but a matter of trust. Building relationships with a lot of guys you haven't met, guys who were playing for a different guy under a slightly different system 4 months ago. What is the key in coaching? You've been around different places, being an offensive coordinator and earning trust of those guys, especially in these first few weeks when you're meeting them for the first time, showing them these new things.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I think the biggest thing is sitting down and learning about who they are, and because it does matter. It is fun watching. We have cut-ups and they get to watch, some NFL cut-ups, and I think they always appreciate that. Running some of the things that they've run at that level that we've had success running at that level. But it's the most important thing is for me getting in front of them and really just asking where they're from, because I don't know for a lot of them. Some of them are from my backyard in the suburbs of Chicago. Some are from Iowa. Some are from Australia. I met him the other day. And he didn't even tell me where he was from. I knew, and it was awesome to meet him. So that's really the key, because I know once we have that relationship, then it's time to go to work. And I got to show them kind of our ideas of what we want to do. I really want to see them all move around. I'm excited to start getting the playbook put together, which is going to take some time, and really watching all of last year's film to watch the guys play. And I haven't had a chance to do that yet over this weekend, these 4 days, but that's what's coming soon.
We'll finish up with two, Pat and Matt.
Hey Tim, Pat Hardy with Hawk Fanatic from KCJJ Radio. First off, congratulations, welcome to Iowa City.
Thank you.
Just want to know, how much do you value mobility at the quarterback position, and will that be a priority moving forward in recruiting?
I value efficiency at the quarterback position. Mobility would be a bonus. Like if I can get both, 100%, I'm all for it. I mean, who doesn't want that, right? But there has to be efficiency first, right? And I think sometimes people get enamored with the mobility, and when they have to drop back on a third down and get us a first down, or a 2-minute drill to go win us the game, that we can't fall short in that scenario. You got to play quarterback first. You got to be able to move the sticks with your feet, and the more you can do, the more we can do when it comes to running the ball. So it's a great icing on the cake if you can have it. So I'm always looking for it, but I'm not going to go away from a guy that I think can really execute an offense and make throws and be efficient as a quarterback. Just because if he can't do that, I'm not going to just take him because he can run a little faster. You know what I mean?
Last question, Matt.
Hey, Coach, Matt McGowan with the Daily Island. So back in 2022 at Western Michigan, how much of the play clock were you involved with, and what did you take away from that season?
Was that last year?
Yeah.
Oh, I hired a new offensive coordinator. He came in and put in his system. I was going to be more of a head coach, and when did I take over? The last 4 games? We were really struggling. We weren't playing complementary football. We were turning the ball over. We lost our quarterback in Sky Moore. They had 2 years left before they were done with their eligibility, and they left in January to go to the NFL draft. Obviously, I was excited for him, but it threw us off guard a little bit. It's worked pretty well for Sky. Obviously, won one Super Bowl, and he's going to another one. So excited for him. But so we were struggling personnel-wise, and so I think we won 3 of our last 4. It wasn't pretty. It was what we had to do. I played a true freshman quarterback and 2 freshman wide receivers. Kept ourselves in games, let our defense play great. We found a way to win those games when that's what we had. That was our best foot forward. So I think I caught the last 4 that year, and I had to call different words than I'm used to calling. So I had to read it off a sheet, which is harder for me. Normally the guy that puts it in his back pocket and doesn't take it out. But yeah, I called. That was the last 4 that I called.
Okay.